Hi all, today I am going to build an accordion in React Native. So this is how the UI will look like. When I click on a particular tab, the content of that tab will show and the others will collapse. On Android it will also be similar. We will see how can we do that, this kind of spring animation. All the source code will be linked in the description below this video. So let's get started. So I have already initialized an empty React Native project and I have removed all the boilerplate code which comes with it, and I replaced it with this text, and it just says a hello world. So how we will be architecting this component is that, like, all the tabs in the accordion will have some text, and in each tab header there will be a text and a icon. Now the icon can be plus when it is collapsed, and it will be minus when it is expanded. So there will be two states in the icon. Similarly, whenever suppose the tab 1 is selected, then the content of the tab 1 will come. So first let's create a folder called src. Inside this I will create a folder components, and I will create a component accordion.tsx. So first we will be rendering a list of titles. In the props there will be a list of titles which is a string array. For now let's just display these titles. So I will display them in a text. So let's just put it inside the app.tsx. Let's import it. Now the prop will be a titles of string array. So for data, let's just show the areas of some popular cities. New York, Bangalore. New Delhi, Kolkata. And then I will pass this. So it is displayed this there. So now I will be displaying them in a container, each of them. Let's name this container as accordion item. In each of the accordion item, we will be passing the content, but we will look it after. For now, we will be having this view. Suppose this view will have a header and the content below. Now the header can have two items. One is that title and that icon. So inside the view, I will create another view. So this will be a display row for the text and the icon. Now the icon, I will be using the React Native icons. Before that, let's display the content and the title header. So the content, what we will do is that there will be a active index for these titles. Whenever we click on a particular tab, that active index will be there, and depending on the active index, we will be showing the actual content. So the content will come as a children of this accordion, and it will be dynamic. So we will be passing this content as a children. It will be here. Name as children, and the name here will be content. So we can show it here. Okay. So now under every tab there is coming this content. So to select a particular tab, we will be using a state called active index. This active index we can pass in here. And also we will be making this active index. So this active index will be sending the updated index. So it will be a number. Now we will be wrapping this accordion item in a pressable so that we can press on a tab. We will be passing this on press function, and on press of this function it will invoke this set active index and it will update the updated index. Every titles will have this index. There is an error here, cannot find the on press. We have to pass this. Okay, so now how we will identify that this is a selected, this tab will be open. So we will be passing a boolean prop called expanded for each accordion item. Let's rename this because this will be accordion item props. Okay, there will be a expanded colon boolean. This we will check the active index and the index. So if it is expanded, only then it will show the content. Okay, now if we click on Bangalore, it is showing this content. Overall, without styling, it is working. Let's just start styling them. So each of these view will be a accordion item, and inside this there will be a item header, and there will be a border to distinguish between each accordion item. So each accordion item is separated by this order. Now for the header, like each header will have an icon. For the icon, we will be using the React Native vector icons. Let's first put a text called icon. And the justify content because the item and the text will be on different ends. It will be space between. Okay, so this icon is there. Let's apply some background color. And also a padding. Okay. Okay, so now our content can be anything, like it is very dynamic. So instead of doing the content in this accordion, we will be passing it dynamically like in here, hello text. So we will be creating a function. Okay, so now what the logic will be here is that, so we can use any kind of content, like it can be a flash list or a text, but for our example, like there will be a array of square kilometer of these cities, and depending on the index we will just show that this city has a area of this square kilometer. Okay, so these are hypothetical square kilometers. So you can see that Bangalore has an area of 70, this will be kilometer. Okay, New York has an area of 100 square kilometer, and Delhi will have 80, and Kolkata is a 50. Okay, so now this content is dynamic. So let's do the icon. Okay, for the icons, we will be using the React Native Vector Icons package. This is the documentation, and there are the separate configurations for iOS and Android. First, I will install this package. Npm install React Native Vector Icons. Now for the Android, it is very much simple. In the Android app build.gradle, we have to copy this code. In the bottom, we'll be pasting this. So let's start it in Android. We have to also import the types file since we are using the TypeScript. So let's start again. Okay, so now here the plus and minus icons are one functioning, they are toggling. Okay, next for the iOS, first open the Xcode. In the Xcode, open your project. Now, as per the instructions in the documentation, we have to first drag and drop the fonts folder into the project, and then we have to make sure this add to targets and create groups is checked. We'll go to our project and this node modules. There is React Native vector icons. We will copy this and drop this. Add to folders, create groups, and add to targets your project, not the test one. So this has been added. Now, as said in the documentation, copy this is fonts in the info.p list. So they have already provided it. These are all the available icons that we can use. Now in the info.p list, make sure it is not the test one but the actual project. So we will copy this. Okay, now another thing that we have to do is we have to go here and click on this project, and in the build phases this copy bundle resources will have all these files that we have copy pasted. It will automatically be there. Now we have to copy this code in a file called reactnative-config.js in our project root. So I create a file. Now I will close this Android and start an iOS. So we can see these icons are working properly in iOS also. So let's close this iOS simulator for now and again open Android. So our Android and iOS setups for the React Native vector icons is completed. Let's do the animations like for the plus and minus. So we will do some kind of smooth animation like this spring. So for that animation we needed two components from this React Native. One is the UI manager and another is the layout animation. So layout animation will do the some kind of animation for the next layout phase. So when the next time the state changes like from collapse to open, so it will be showing that kind of animation. This will be part of this whenever the active index got updated. So I will put these components in here, UI manager. Another one is layout animation. Now whenever the set active index is there, we will be writing the code. So for that I will extract it into another function called update index. So in the update index there will be set active index. Along with the active index, when the next time the state changes, we have to add the layout animation. Now for the layout animation to work, we have to first check that like this animation is enabled. So for that I have to write a logic in the Android platform. So I will check this if platform.os equals to Android. Then I have to write a condition that this UI manager will enable it. Dot this function should be true. Now once this is set to true, we will now do the layout animation. Configure next, like for the next phase. In the layout animation, we can set the different effects that we want. So layout animation dot presets and dot these two, like these three types are possible. Like we can select the spring one. Okay. So once that is selected, see. Now this is not looking good. So what I will do is that I will increase the height of this content. Like I will add a minimum height. To add a minimum height, and I will add a view which wraps around this content. So this is the style. Now this is expanded. Okay, so this effect is working. We can also change this spring to suppose ease in out. See, there is a different type of animation. I will use the spring itself. So let's try running this project in iOS and see. Okay, so in iOS it's also working fine. That is for this video. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thanks.